And he said it was life-changing, and I was like, yeah, more than one life.
That's definitely a life-changing event. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon Wynn.
My name's River Burns.
And this is Critical Failure. So, to continue on with the Yugoloth, we're going to now talk about the Hydroloth, which is... I can only explain it as a spiked toad. It's literally just that thing. So, yeah, spiked toad.
Just looking at that picture, it reminds me that when you go, like that weird noise you make, like when you like shudder, it's just like nasty. Like it's a certain
Me specifically?
Yeah, it's a noise you make. You're just like, like you made it earlier today, and I can't do the noise. Yeah, that's the noise.
I tried doing it. I feel like I do it better when it actually is more
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just that face.
Yeah. But the Hydroloth is a medium fiend of the neutral evil alignment. It has an armor class of 15 and a average hit point count of 135, so 18d8 plus 54. And it has a walking speed of 20 feet and a swim speed of 40.
Oh, so it's kind of slow.
Yeah, it's more of an amphibious, like, water type based thing, as it talked about how, which is ironically really short, because I was expecting this one to have a lot, because, like, looking at all this, like, stats right here, it's like a paragraph of description, but basically in the description it talks about how in the river Styx it doesn't steal their memories because they're used to it, and, like, they steal thoughts from other creatures for whatever master they serve at the time. And they're much better at being in water. And when it comes to water combat, none of the Yugoloths compare to it. But continuing, it has a strength of 12, which is a +1. A dexterity of 21, which is a +5.
Oh, wow, that's high.
For dex?
Yeah. I thought its strength would be higher because of its, like...
The size?
Yeah, it's
That's
like
what gold. I thought. Like, while I was reading this to you, or reading this to myself earlier, I was like, wow, that's kind of low. I was expecting it to be very slow, because, you know, it's a 20 speed.
Yeah.
I was expecting its dex to be, like, kind of low.
Kind of expected its strength to be at least, like, 16.
Yeah, I was expecting a +4. Its constitution is a 16, which is +3. Its intelligence is 19. That's surprisingly fucking high.
It's a smart boy.
Yeah. It has a wisdom of 10, which is a +0. Obviously, and charisma of 14, which is a +2. Now, I was literally talking to myself as you were arguing, or more or less bitching about giraffes.
Giraffes, I hate them. It's in Final Fantasy. It's not just like real world giraffes. I don't care about real giraffes. Those fucking giraffes in Final Fantasy.
They're not even actual giraffes.
I'm gonna call them a giraffe.
But I was talking about how, like, this thing, like, literally could just talk to you, and you'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? Instead of being like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah. I actually heard that.
Yeah, you didn't really say anything about it. But its skills is Insight, which is a +4, and Perception, which is a +4 also. I'm assuming its proficiency bonus is 4, because it has literally a 0 for its Wisdom modifier. So, it having a 4 Perception, that must be all proficiency. Its damage vulnerability is Fire. Have fun doing 2 times the damage on that.
But if it's in water, would it, like, still, like... burn?
I would assume no.
And that's where it mainly chills.
Yeah, but one of the abilities later says it can be in any liquid, and its advantage... It has advantage on in any
like,
liquid.
I'm
so I'm
moist.
just like, what happens if you just, like, put it in oil?
And then set it on fire.
Yeah. When it leaves, it's going to catch on fire regardless.
It's like, I have advantage, and now I'm on fire.
Now I'm hurt.
I deal extra damage, Crimson Right.
I get hurt for your hurt. It has damage resistances to cold, lightning, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing of non-magical weapons. Its damage immunities are acid and poison.
That's a lot, like, fiends in general, though.
Yeah. Which I find this one really weird, that this one has, like, damage vulnerability to fire, which makes no sense, because I would assume it's constantly in, like, a more humid or wet state.
Yeah, or kind of, like, slimy-ish. Like, look at it right there. It's just, like, dripping slime.
It's drooling is what that is.
Yeah.
But, its addition immunities is being poisoned, so you can't poison this bitch. Its senses are blind sight up to 60 feet, dark vision up to 60 feet, and it has a passive perception of 14. It can speak abyssal, infernal, and has telepathy up to 60 feet. And it's a challenge rating of 9, so that'd be 5,000 XP. Now, this thing can breathe air and water. It has an innate spell casting with intelligence as its casting ability, and has a spell DC save of 16. It can cast darkness, detect magic, dispel magic, invisibility on itself only, and water walk. Yeah, I was gonna say water weird, at will, and it can cast control water, crown of madness, fear, phantasmal killer, and suggestion up to 3 times a day. Now, I would like to say
invisibility at will is powerful.
Oh yeah, I was gonna. For me, I would say that you can only choose one of these, and do like up to one of these spells 3 times a day, but you only get 3 uses of any of these spells once a day. So it's like
doesn't it have like blind sense?
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to see. So it can cast darkness on you and just beat the fuck out of you.
Just swallows you.
Man.
But do you get what I'm saying? It's like if like you can use control water, crown of madness, and fear, and then you're out of like magical slots. That's what I'm saying.
When this is just 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But like I was talking about like.
I know, but I'm talking about fear
like,
because like
darkness alone at will is extremely powerful.
I've heard some people like in other games or other people like when they say 3 times a day and stuff like that, they say, oh, each one of these spells can be used 3 times a day. I would say that each of these spells, like you have to choose either one of them to use 3 times a day, or like you only get 3 spell slots. That's what I would say.
Oh yeah, it is 3 times for everything.
Yeah, that's what I would say, that because it makes it a little bit like harder, and it makes it a little bit cooler to like actually have to like strategically think of how to fuck your party up. Like honestly, like all of these things right here would be great. Invisibility, and then you cast darkness. This is all at will, so it's like technically like that doesn't cost any action.
It would still it would cost action technically. It's just when it says at will, it just means you do it as many times as you want. Because these are actually like spells. Like normally they would be in spell slots.
Okay. So
but
I
instead
thought
of like burning
will,
spell slots, you don't burn spell slots.
I thought at will meant like it doesn't cost an action either.
No, I basically turn those spells into cantrips.
And
that's pretty crazy. But
yeah. First, it can go invisible. So if you're trying to really get the fuck out of there, it's like, well, I'm getting my ass kicked, might as well go invisible. But if you really want to piss them off, you blind them, then you go invisible, and then you start beating their ass.
Well, I think darkness is concentration, invisibility is concentration, so you can only have one. I kind of figured you would end up saying that, so I already thought about it. I figured about
that. I forgot. And it's really sad because, like, I had completely... I forgot concentration as a thing because we really don't use concentration spells in our games.
Yeah, like, we have the spells, it's just... It's more like... We don't do the system where, like, you have to roll to, like, make a save for it. It's just, like, if you cast a spell, it's going to last until it, like, runs out. You just can't have another concentration spell going on, generally.
It has magic resistance, so it has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. It has magic weapons, so this thing biting you or slapping you with its long, can't say that, talons are considered magical. This ability is really weird, but it's called Secure Memory, and the Hydroloth is immune to the waters of the river Styx, as well as any effect that could steal or modify its memories or detect or read thoughts. In my opinion, unless you're specifically, as a DM, being on the river Styx, I would not have included that. I would have just said that any effects that would steal, modify, or detect or read its thoughts, like, are like useless. Like, it seems like it's just a little bit of fluff in there for no reason.
Let me see.
Secure Memory. The Hydroloth is immune to the waters of the river Styx, as well as any effects that would steal or modify its memories.
Well, the secondary part's useful for outside of the river Styx.
Yeah, but like the first part, it just kind of like, unless you're specifically there, it makes no sense.
But the monster is commonly there anyways. So.
Yeah, it was just weird. And it has watery advantage. While submerged in the liquid, the Hydroloth has advantage on attack rolls. That's what I was talking about. Its actions has multi-attack. It can make 2 melee attacks. Place one of these and cast a spell that takes an action. Now, it doesn't specifically say that you have to use 2 of one or 1 of the other. Like how I think it was the Yugoloth said that you had to use 2 claw attacks specifically, and the Hydroloth I think did it also. Yeah, two attacks, 1 with its tongue or its bite, and 1 with its claws. So it said and or, and we said that usually we just don't care. It's just like it has that many actions, so we're gonna use
generally with multi-attack. We're just gonna use how many it states, because it also mixes things up. Because it's just annoying. Like, oh, it's gonna do like a claw and a bite attack over and over.
Yeah, it just seems kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But it has its claws, which do 2d8 plus 5 slashing damage, and it's a plus 9 to hit with the reach of 5 feet. And it has a bite attack, which is a plus 9 to hit, reach of 5 feet, and it does 2d10 plus 5 piercing damage. Now, this ability is really weird. Steal Memory can only be used once a day. The Hydroloth can target 1 creature it can see within 60 feet. It takes 46 damage, 46 psychic damage, sorry. It must make a DC intelligence save of 16, saving throw. And if it's successful, it becomes immune to the Hydroloth's Steal Memory ability for 24 hours. But on a failed save, it loses all proficiencies, can't speak any languages, can't cast any spells. If any of its intelligence or charisma score is higher than 5, it immediately becomes 5. That's bad.
That's brutal.
Yeah, and you're only able to really get a save after this if you take a long rest. It's each and every long rest you get a save. So it takes a long time. Just imagine keep fucking that up. You're just like retard level.
Just being a wizard, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're useless. Or a bard. Mostly bards basically have low intelligence in the first place.
They're just like, I'm gonna put my dick in it.
That just reminds me of like that post that I saw on Instagram. It was like it was an elf druid pissed off at a I think it was a gnome bard, and it was like a rock golem, and it said "Dad," and it was just like a big fucking rock next to it, and it's like the rock golem's a little tiny girl looking one, and like the rock is literally just a boulder, and like the guy's like, I don't know what the hell this is, and it's like, and it's obviously a bard, and like the gnome, not the gnome, the dwarf barbarian's like, no, and like holding the druid back, and I'm just like, that is so true. I had lost my soda real quick. Like, I gotta show it to you. It's like, it's actually really funny. But that then reminds me of like the picture where it's like what the DM thinks, and it's like DM with the picture of the knife, and it says it's like the party, then DM, but it's like in reality it's 2 knives. It says the DM, the party, and then the bard's just like the smug cat going. I love that. I've showed it to you so many times, and each time it's still funny. But another way to get over this Steal Memory effect is a greater restoration or remove curse spell. Yeah, I was making sure it didn't say remove spell for some reason. But it also can teleport up to 60 feet away.
Yeah,
into an unoccupied space, except the Yugoloth.
Yeah, and the Yugoloth is like, if I can't teleport, none of y'all motherfuckers can teleport.
I just want to imagine them all trapped in a room, and it's like the Yugoloth I just feel like the Yugoloth can turn off its ability, but it's just like it's too lazy to, because you know it's a Yugoloth.
I'm a fucking dick.
So it's like a 5 foot by 5 foot room. They're just like, can you just turn it off? We need to get out. It's like, I'm comfortable. And it's like we're literally sitting on top of you. I don't care. I'm fine with this. It's like, yeah, well, I have broken all of my bones. I don't like this. Not my problem, bro.
I think Yugoloth so far is my favorite out of this entire, like...
Yeah, it's like, it's just a fucking dick. And it's not even like an asshole. It's just like, don't make me waste my energy. And I feel like if it attacks, I would have it as disadvantage because it's not going to attack fiercely. It's just like...
Well, like it states, it doesn't even like try to kill you unless if it's like told to. It's just gonna restrain you.
Yeah, honestly, I would just be like, I would have all of its attacks at disadvantage because it's just like.
But we should finish with the actual Yugoloth laziness.
Yeah, fucking Yugoloth. But yeah, like that's literally all its stats, and it says like the Hydroloth steals memories from creatures they attack, and. Fuck you. That moved the page. And it delivers them to whatever masters they serve. They're skilled at finding lost things, especially especially things that have been swallowed up in the deeps, whatever the fuck that is. I'm assuming like water or something like that.